Hello and welcome to Fluorocarbon. Up today we're going to do a string change on this Pelem Guitalele. It is currently strung linear tuning, A to A, which is your standard Guitalele. A, D, G, C, E, A. And I've had an issue with this since I've got it that the nut is kind of rough or something. And they still want to stick really bad. The stock strings were really bad. These the Darios are a little better, but especially on the wounds and even this composite third string, they really like to stick trying to tune. So I wanted to try an all unwound setup, and this is what I came up with. So we're going to do a reentrant B to B tuning, and I'll try and speed through some of the boring parts. Um, Basically, what we're going to do, and I will give you some diagrams and things on the strings we're using and where I came up with this. So obviously we need 6 strings. So I've come up with a combination of Oasis strings. So these are Oasis fluorocarbons. I have a set of warm high G and bright high G. And basically we need 5 strings. There's a couple of ways we can do it, but we basically need 5 strings from these packs. And then the high string, kind of hard to come by, but I had some leftover very thin strings from Southcoast, left over from a Quattro set. So this is a very thin string, and you can get such a thin string from Living Water as well, since Southcoast is no longer with us. Okay, so let's go ahead and take string 6 off. I'm not reusing these, so I'm just going to cut and toss. All right, for our 6th string, this is going to be going for B3. Use the warm C. All right, so normal tenor GCA tuning has a C on the 3rd. And we're going to be tuning that to a B. Now the Oasis strings did have to get 2 packs because I needed that for all the gauges, but these are double length strings. I'm going to cut that in half. Hopefully it didn't screw up. No, plenty of space there. Okay, so as we go, I've got some graphite lube. That I'm going to be putting in the nut slots. Okay, so let's tie that off. All right, a little tube of powdered graphite lubricant. Now this, try and work that into the slot a little bit. Really not sure how well this is going to work, but let's go with it. Going for a target tuning of B3. All right, so let's think about our external reference. Now, so the Guitalele is ADG, that's a low G, so it's going to be higher than that, so let's use that 3rd string. That's the G right there. So that'll let us know we're getting close. There we go. Now we want to go up to switch to my tuner now. If you look back at my one of my recent videos where I totally screwed this up on the bass, you'll know why. I'm being a little more careful here. Okay, A, E flat, going towards B. There it is. That's going to be can tell it's going to be a nice comfortable tension, just what I wanted. So it's a notch lower than typical GCEA, so that's going to work really fine there. All right, string 5 is going to be an E4, so that's the warm 2 string. Okay, so E4, that's your normal tenor 2 string. Okay, so E4, our target, let's see. Well, we've got G, A, D, G, C, E. E is right, we've already got an E. All right, so that's our target note. E. Oh, afraid of that. Well, I'm going to eventually have to do something about this nut anyway, because especially with these strings, getting a buzz on the first fret. That's unfortunate. Okay, so what I'm doing as a temporary fix is put a another length, just a little length of string in the slot, just to raise that up a little bit, and then we'll tune it back up. Okay, so B. Hey, well, you know, buzz gone. Okay, so B. Now this was E4, right? And tune that back up. Now we're at E4. All right. 4th string. So A4, which is my, now here's where I need the bright set. I need, or at least I think I need, a little bit thinner string here. So I want the bright A, which is the 1st string. Okay, I'm back. We left off with the 3rd string, which is A4. And again, that is the Oasis bright A. The 5th string, which is E4, also had a buzz on it, so this nut is definitely too low, a little too low for the strings that I'm putting on it. So I put another little piece of string under the 5th string, as well as the 6th string, to get rid of the buzzes on those strings. Okay, turn to the 3rd. Okay, string 3 is D4, D4. So we're going to take an E string and tune it down. Okay, I'll just go ahead and use the other one from this pack. So this is the same string that we used Well, I actually messed up the fifth string. I was going to use slightly larger gauge than the third string, which I still have, so I may end up going back and replacing that. That was supposed to have used the G string from the warm pack. I ended up using the E string from the warm pack, which is not what I had planned on doing. So what that means is that the you may find the tension a little out of balance since I've got the same string at two different pitches. So one of them has to be less than ideal, but we'll see. Okay, so D4, so what we'll do is use this low B. No, we're getting close. Going towards D4, we're at C, C sharp, almost there. And there we are. So there's D, this one is E, so a little bit tighter, but not so much. I think it'll probably be fine. But my intention probably would be a little more even in terms of tension. Second string is going for F sharp 4, so I can use the warm A or the bright G or the same gauge. Warm G, and it's going to get detuned half step to give the F sharp. Okay, so we're heading towards F sharp 4, which is a step above E4. There's my E4. Okay, there it is. Okay, one more to go. $2 string winder. No better investment. All right, top string is B4. Okay, so let's put up the Oasis. Now, B4, this is a tenor scale instrument. Very thin string. You're not going to get away with, probably, any A string. You know, any first string that's designed for tenor, it's probably not going to work. That's the whole step and a half. that you need to go higher. So what I decided to do, I actually have a couple of strings that could work, and I believe I said this at the beginning. The one I've chosen is a leftover string from a Southcoast Quattro set. I have one more, but if I like this tuning and need to get new strings, my other alternative would be a Living Water. Has a thin string like this that he uses for an 8-string tenor set. So there's probably other 8-string tenors or even 6-string tenors that would have a doubled C string. Most of those have a third string would have like a high and a low C, and that high C is kind of tough to get on tenor scale because it is really thin. But this was from the Southcoast extra light gauge linear. So this was, I hope I did 3 knots down there. This was designed for like an octave D GBE tuning, even on soprano scale. It's like really high linear tunings, but you could get to a E flat tuning on tenor scale, a linear E flat, and that's kind of what the Quattro is. It's just Reentrant on this top string. See, so they ship these with low C and a high C. So I ended up having the high C extra. Okay, so this is going for B4, super high. I do have an A4 there, so I can use that as the target. Right. Okay, so I can already tell the strings themselves, as far as tension, is a success. Obviously, we're going to keep on stretching, so we won't get a very good sound sample here. But maybe we can get a little taste. Wow, it's tiny, but it gets up there. Okay, so this is a reentrant tuning. So again, you have the same relationships as regular guitar or guitalele. So there's no issue there in terms of chord shapes. They're all the same. But you get the first three are an octave higher than normal. And then it's going to drop back down. So this is called the Eddie Freeman Special, or you may just see it as a reentrant ukulele tuning. So it just gives you a different option. And again, my old channel and maybe this one, I've had some examples where I've done this G to G. That's really easy to get on either baritone ukulele or tenor ukulele. So I've done G to G. Southcoast used to have a set for E to E. I've never gotten one of those. So this is B to B. So you end up getting different inversions on your chords. So the first four strings, of course, are just a standard reentrant. My dog has fleas kind of tuning, right? And then you just have the lower two again. So yeah, we'll see. And I can already tell just from this quick sound sample that this is kind of the sound I was going for with this mango tenor. With the linear strings, it just wasn't giving the right chime that I thought was in here, and I can tell. I think we found the chime. It's probably about enough for today. We'll have to let these get settled in. For a few days, and then we'll see if we can get a little better sound sample. So there we go. That's all for today. B to B reentrant ukulele tuning. Hey, world's first, maybe? If you know of another one, let me know, but otherwise I'm claiming it. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.